Well, hello everyone. Just trying to see if I can get everything together here. Had a little trouble with the camera, the main camera. It's not taking pictures very well. Let's see what this one looks like. Waiting. It was a simple little exposure. I'm going to check some wires. This is my second attempt at streaming. Last night I discovered that you really do need to be polar aligned better than you think for this. So I've got a separate computer outside running just telescope guiding and pointing and stuff. And I'm hoping that that will work. Exposure failed again. Why is that? I think it's time to restart this software. How about that? Yeah, force quit. That's sure sign there. Well, in the meantime, we're going to look up our first target. We're parked up here near the intersection of the meridian and the celestial equator for guiding purposes. And what's the first target of the night going to be? Could be something up here. So we over in this general way. Got ourselves a globular cluster. Oh, that's a good one. Let's go there first. M5, great globular cluster. Now, can I just go to using this? I'm hoping. No, I might have to use the other computer because they're both controlling. All right, be right back. All right. Well, let's see if we have. Yeah, looks like it's there. Okay, so don't try and go to from here. I've got two different things coming into the telescope. This one's coming in through a Wi-Fi controller and the other one is wired. I trust the other one. All right, back to this thing. Now, do we get some satisfaction with this camera? Let's see. Turn on the cooler, anti-dew. Middle gain. And we're not taking any pictures. With the filter wheel. Is filter wheel working? Yes. Another failed exposure. Do we have a flaky cable? Well, there we go. That's an image. Sort of. All right. Try to adjust this histogram a little bit. Still not quite dark out. And we do have the full moon. I mean the full moon is up tonight. I'm going to try and use less of the camera here. Okay, do we have an image coming down? Let's see. So, M5, it's a great globular cluster. Got a good picture of it. Let's see what Sky Safari has to say about this particular object. Exposure failed. All right. Sky Safari. Info. discovered by Gottfried Kirk and his wife Maria Margaret in 1702, that's early, while observing a comet. He called it a nebulous star. Found again by Charles Messier 62 years later in 1764. Described it as a round nebula which doesn't contain any stars. Ha! Well, we know what kind of metal mirror you were working with. This is like a close second to the best cluster, the Hercules cluster, M13. Now let's go back and check with our software here. Nothing? Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Nice bright star nearby. Let's go to 100%. And let's do some stacking. Okay. Now hopefully we're stacking 5-second images. Getting image data failed. Why is that such a big deal? Well, let's play some soothing music. Okay, now we're getting something. Seems to be having trouble with the stacking. Only one image, ignored 10. Okay, we're obviously not on the right track here. Let's try this again. Clear the stacked image. While we're waiting for that, I've got a photo of this particular globular cluster, M5, and after spending time with the software today, to resize every single one. So I'll do that. And hope they'll remember. Streaming software works differently than most other programs I've run into. But you stumble around, you make a bunch of errors, and you figure it out. Okay. There we go. There's M5. It's a picture I took a couple months ago. I love the big bright globulars. Let's see how much we can get our image to look like that. It says it keeps taking these photos. Let's try changing the exposure. Let's go to 10 seconds. Anything? Waiting. Damn. Try again. What is it about my connection to the camera that's so flaky tonight? Last night it was pretty good. Let me double check the connections. Be right back. Last night, it's 4th of July, that's why there's so many explosions. Last night I managed to kick the camera cable unplugged from its extension twice during the show. Let's go back to 2 seconds so we don't have to wait so long to fail. Try to reconnect to camera again. Let's do this too. Watch it from there. There's just so much stuff. Okay, live stacking. Right there. So I'm trying guiding the camera with a separate computer out on the porch running PhD, because it did a good job of it when I run just my photographic rig. So, hey, welcome new visitor. I'm not just talking to myself anymore, although if I can't get this camera thing worked out, it'll be nothing to see here at night. What do you gotta do? Well, you can always try that. And of course it would complain about that, as I would. Let's try it again. Well, of course it did. Well, hi, Jody. Well, it is the weekend, isn't it? So things are not being very well behaved here. So far it's you and me. Okay. Exposure failed again. So if the computer out on the porch loses track of whatever star it's tracking, I should get the Windows bling sound. That would let me know. Otherwise we should have pretty good track. So why is the camera not getting me a good image? You know, I could try one thing. Getting something from my computer bag. have this little USB 3.0 dongle, which may just be a ticket. So we put that in there. It doesn't really like to stay though. Disconnect here. Boy, the tech part of this has got to be a lot more solid than it is trying to be if I'm going to do this in the field. There's an astronomer outstanding in his field. And let's see, put that in here. You have to power this thing from another USB port. How crazy is that? Get that in there. Is it going to stay? Do I might have to pinch this against the wall or something? Well, that might do it. Okay, we find a camera here. Sure enough. All right, let's see what we got here. Different resolution. Hey, how is the music level playing back versus my talking? There it is. Connect. There we go. It's taking up exposure. Now, do I actually get it off the camera this time or not? Transferring. Get image data failed, even at USB 3 speeds. That means I have a larger problem. Yeah, very sketchy connectivity this way. Okay. It was a thing. Wow, that got hot. Okay. Put this away. Maybe just try a different USB port. There we go. Okay, the music's pretty faint. All right, let's go for minus. This is minus 20 now. Assume you have your headphones on. Okay. Oh, thank you for being outstanding in my field. Old joke, but you can always use it. Once again, images are failing. I mean, this worked pretty well last night. Try to lower exposure, same amount of data. Yes, it's a whole thing. Oh. Well, if I reboot the computer, I lose the stream. That's not fun. I can talk to the filter wheel just fine. Oh, look at that, an image came in. A terrible one. But maybe we'll get another one. There we go. So it is possible. All right, now let me play with some of the adjustment controls here. Let's try stacking now. Okay, better with music volume. So noted at -20 is what we want here. Okay, well there we go. That's 3 stacked images in a row. How about that? This show might be worth something after all. Okay, there's 100%. And let's touch up this histogram just a little bit. Contrast because these are just stars, not faint nebula. Maybe a little less contrast. Okay, so that's 5 stacked exposures in a row. Do I have the noise reduction on? That should help. All right, that's 8 images stacked now. So we're on some kind of a roll. I almost don't want to touch it. Expand that back a little bit. A little more saturation. Yeah. All right. Well, so that's M5. Here, I'll show you the picture I took of this. Oh, we should do that. There we go. So that's the photo that I took a couple of months ago. Still stacking. Okay, so it took 18. Now it's taken 20, and it's used 16. That's good. Back to our image. And me scratching my forehead. Let's get in there a little closer and see what that looks like. Boy, I'd like to do something about that banding. It's not too bad. All right, well, let's pick another target. The moon is always up. We can do that. But maybe there's something else. So we go back to Sky Safari. And there's the blurb about M5. All right, what else is up here? We'll get down into Sagittarius again. Oh, we were going to try the lagoon, because the moon isn't right next to it tonight. So here's the lagoon, M8. All right, so now I have to go out to tell the telescope to find it. And I'll be right back. Okay, well, in theory, we are parked there. So I can really, boy, it was a long slew. It had to go all the way, flip itself all the way across the sky. Let's get back to ASI. There. And what we need is to back off a little bit. We're going to need the nebular filter for this. So we get DJ nebulous. Switch the filter to triad. Triad filter is a narrow band nebular filter, so even though the moon's nearby, it should do a pretty decent job. Let's try slightly longer exposures now. Okay, so let's try it. 10-second exposure. Waiting with bated breath for the first. Erase the stack. Let it start a new stack. We have another viewer. Okay, well, there we are. Okay. So we're not quite on this thing. But we're not that far off. All right, I'm going to go out and make a pointing adjustments. Maybe I can do it here. Not be stacking this now. It's kind of nice. It's down here in the lower edge. I need to figure out what it would take to get that up. That was a really long go-to. That's going to look great, though. Next image. Change. Waiting. Apparently not. Okay, so that other thing doesn't do a good job moving. I'm going to try using the other computer to move the scope. Be right back. Okay, didn't want to be away for too long. Do we have something? I don't know. We taking images? I was moving the scope all around. I couldn't get it to see very well. I can kind of see this object in the guide cam's window. But I don't understand why it's not showing up in a different place on the window here. Perhaps we need the full-size sensor. This would be a lot easier if the other computer was right next to me. That's why I need the big table when I do this. And longer USB cables. You solve one problem and you cause another. All right, I'm going to do some more work to try and get this object in the center of the field of view. Okay, let's try that. Come on, image. You know, I'm not sure that I'm guiding out there. Let me do that. All right, what do we got? Oh, now we're talking. All right, that is good enough. Let's stack those things up. How about that? Okay, let's zoom a little. We'll get to 100%. That is okay. Uh-oh. Spinning beat ball of death. What's going on? Is it something about me going in and out of the door? Okay, there we go. Alright, we can make this just a touch darker. A little more contrast. Photoshop on the fly. Alright, one of the reasons why I like this object, especially in the telescope, is because it's really three objects in one. It's a reflection nebula. All of this gassy stuff that you see around here is gassy nebula. And then you've got this nice open star cluster right here, NGC 2231 or something like that. And then you've got a dark nebula, which is all of this right here. This is the lagoon, in the Lagoon Nebula, this dark nebula that sort of separates these various areas. And you can see those very clearly in the telescope. We're still stacking. Well, let's up our game here. Let's go to, well, okay, I'm locked out until, we'll just keep doing the 10 seconds, because that's looking pretty good. So far that's 5 used, 13 ignored. That's not a great percentage. Oh, it does that. That's not what I would expect. So this is a great view in the eyepiece, 3-in-1 object. Let's see what happens if we use a longer exposure. Yeah. Well, we're up to a minute's worth. While this is integrating, I like the nice sharp stars. Well, they're fairly sharp. I could show you my version of this. This is the one with the false color palette, experimenting with making them look like the Hubble. And I'm going to load these images one at a time. And this is M8 Lagoon. Started doing this today, but it just was taking forever. You have to load these in one at a time and resize them one at a time. Let's see. Oh, did I not have that here? Well, I've got the other one, which isn't bad. Here we go. Got to prepare this. It's way too large. Squeeze it down. I'm doing this all on the preview screen here. All right, that looks pretty good. And here was my picture of it from a couple months ago. It's turned a little bit differently, but you can definitely see the star cluster. On the left, the lagoon. Well, thank you, Frank. Anyway, back to our live view image, because that's why we're here. Turn that off. Let me see what I can do with a little bit of processing here to make this a little better. Squeeze this in just a touch. You play around with various, a little more saturation. Well, we're up to 100 seconds of image now. A little more contrast. Trying to make the space a little blacker. You know, if I can get this to look like something, I might get a screen snap on it. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is just over a minute and a half's worth of exposure. Stacking it up in 10-second increments. I wish it would use more of the ones it takes. It took, well, it's taken 46 of them. We've only used 12. But it is getting better. I mean, you can really start to see some dark detail in here. Let's get in there and really look this over. 100%. So pixel equals pixel. Oh, I did it again. CWO has a different idea about what you do with a 3-finger drag. Maybe a little more contrast. A little more brightness. A little too much brightness. A little more saturation. Yeah, that's a big bright star cluster there. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Part of the Sky Guy live demo reel. We come to your house, take pictures of sky. Look like this. All right, well, what do you think? Moon? It's not very far away. Full moon? I think that it's time to stop stacking. And you know this exposure is going to be like 1/10 of a second. So let's go look at the July 4th full moon. Got to go outside to push the button, so I will be right back. Well, I had to do that like 6 times. And we got failed exposures again. How special. Okay, let's get back here. And we're going to go to a smaller sensor reading size. We're doing really short exposure, 1/10 of a second. Come on, baby. Show me the moon. The exposure is so short it doesn't even tell me how long it is. I'm currently shooting at 1/10 of a second. Not getting an image. We can use low gain for this for sure. Even shorter. 5 thousandths. Clear the stack. The moon was looking good last night. Had a little bit of the limb. Okay, not quite in the telescope. Alright, so I need to do a better job of that. Alright, excuse me everybody, I've got to get this in the center. All right, well, that was just embarrassing as all get out. Last night, the pointing was perfect, and the focus and everything else was hard. Okay, what do I have to do here? Even shorter exposure, so at least we're seeing something. That's all crazy. Come on, shorter exposure, please. You're getting all 60s on us here. It's not taking my input. All right, I'm going to disconnect and reconnect the camera again. Okay, 0.05, obviously too much. All right. Are you taking a photo or not? Wait for it. Image data failed. Exposure failed. Presentation failed. Finding moon failed. Yes, I am a professional. I can almost find the full moon in a telescope. Cooler on. Boy, it's hot out there. It's still in the 80s. What do you got to do? Oh. One of the best pictures I ever saw of the full moon was when somebody had taken both first quarter and third quarter moons and then glued them together as one image. And that way you got some really good shadow detail, but you still saw the whole moon. That would be a good poster to have on the wall. Okay. Still not getting an image. Let's try that. And last night the images just came down. Oh. What do you got to do? Let's reconnect. So ultimately the goal here was to try and be able to do this from a park or something like that and do it wirelessly. Stream it through the phone, perhaps as a wireless hotspot. If I can trim back the data rate, that would be fun. Well, how about that? All right, let's just go for some more contrast. I have to do some processing on this. Yeah, and all of a sudden it's working. How about that? Brightness is as low as it goes. Saturation, lower. Do the auto histogram adjust. Maybe that'll do something for us. Apparently not. Yeah, for the moon, you just generally want to have your white point set up here to the brightest stuff, your dark point down here. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This is why you need to practice with these things. Oh, you know what's going on? Yeah, once in a blue moon. Hey, I forgot to switch the filter. We're still on the nebular filter, so we'll switch the luminance filter, the filter wheel, and this will look completely different. So there you go, your blue moon. That actually doesn't look half bad. Well, let's see if we can even get this updated exposure. Keep getting the exposure failed warning down here. Give us one frame, please, just one. Put that thing in here. Still looking kind of blue. I don't know why that is, because I moved that filter, didn't I? Yeah, luminance. Okay. Let's go auto. Okay. I don't know what they're thinking. Let's try that. Anytime now. Give me an update on that. Maybe that's actually the one with the filter. With the luminance filter. It just took that long to get it. It takes several seconds to transfer an image. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Take that all the way up. A little less contrast, a little less brightness. Boy, you really have to be image processor on the fly with this stuff. I know that sometimes when they're looking at stuff, they use strange setups in processing to allow them to see certain kinds of details with the science dudes. They're not trying for an overall pretty image necessarily, they just want to see this one batch of stuff. You were standing alone. And of course, 14 days from now, what would be the song? No moon at all. Da da da. Even Fido is afraid to bark. Let's see, there's got to be a... We still overblown here. All right, let's just try dropping our exposure down another 1/10 of a second. See if it complains. We actually got some exposures there. Anything? Okay, yeah, we're definitely inside the histogram now. It'd be nice to get one really well exposed. Oh, and there we are. That is not too shabby. Okay, a little more contrast. This one's definitely going on the demo reel. A little more contrast. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm gonna take that picture. So last night we were going and looking around for all of the Apollo landing sites. Let's see what I'm reading, what you're saying here, Frank. Why does it look like a spider web? As in, why are there bits coming away from what I assume to be craters in the top right corner? Oh, those are ejecta. Like when something, obviously all these craters were made by some piece of space debris coming in and whacking the moon real hard. And this is the crater Copernicus here. And when something comes in real big and fast, and Tycho here, this is Tycho, but you notice that there's actually rays coming out from craters here, 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 here. So it's a common thing, but this one right here is crater Tycho, and whatever it made that came in, real hot, and of course when it hits the moon, there's an intense amount of heat at the point of impact, and it takes all of the moon dust and powder and kind of pulverizes it into a white thing, and then because the moon's gravity is so little, this stuff just goes flying like white powder. It's ejecta from the craters, and you can trace these ejectas from Tycho. This is like 600 miles here, like that, and some of them, I think they say you can get them out to like 1,200 miles. I mean, like this spray right here, coming all the way out like this. Yeah, that's a pretty well exposed thing for this. Yeah, so Copernicus, Tycho. Last night I was saying, what is the... Okay, Jody, thanks for tuning in and giving me that info about the music. All right, Frank, what would you like to look at? I could probably hunt down a couple more nebulas. Let's back out a little bit here. Take a look at the sky map. Well, that even looks nice, just a little smaller, pretty crisp. All right, let's go back to Sky Safari. Yeah, see, that's how far off the moon I actually did. That's why it was so hard to find. It's because the alignment has shifted a little bit. It's a little hard to touch it up. Something pretty. Well, nebula then. Nebula it is. Nebula are always pretty. So we looked at the lagoon. Did she see the lagoon? Let's go look at the Omega or the checkmark nebula. Oh, no, better yet, the Eagle. The Eagle Nebula is M16, I believe. Get some info on it. Yeah, M16. All right. Well, let me go see if I can figure this out. Now, this would be important to know. What was that offset like on the moon? So we are kind of up and to the right. All right, so Eagle Nebula coming up. This is the famous Hubble Space Telescope Pillars of Creation area, the center of this thing. So let me grab this. All right. Let's see what's going on here. It says that we're right on it, but I don't believe him. Let's go back to the image taking software. And, well, we're still looking at the moon. All right, so this is going to be a completely different ballpark here. We need to go to the triad filter again to block out the moonlight. So switch the filter to triad. When it turns red, that's good. And we are going to, go back to full resolution, and we are going to take this exposure up to 5 seconds to start with. Excuse me, because we just have to see where we are. It's thinking about it. Exposure failed. Well, you know what I could do is I could show you a picture I took of this not too long ago. Let me get that together, and you can look at that until I can give you the live look. How about that? So. And this is going to be M16 Eagle. Number 1. This is such a popular object, I've shot it a number of times already. Gotta go pick it up from the Alright, that's what I'm talking about. That's a good one. And I gotta resize it on the fly, so bear with me. The streaming software works in a different mode than any other kind of software I use. Even my music software doesn't work like this. Alright, so here's the Eagle Nebula, taken as a photo. Transition that in there for you. I took that about 3 weeks ago. Oh, it looks like we got an image here. Nothing in there. Oh, histogram issue. And we want to see the whole thing. Well, that doesn't look very promising. Let me go double check my pointing in the meantime. Yeah, now the, ooh, that's crazy. Here, I'll show you the, well, in the center of the, they call it the Eagle Nebula, but if you can zoom in, on the center of the object is the eagle. You can see it there. It looks like an eagle with its wings in the air and a fish in its talons, right in the center of the light area. And I think this might be having problems because I'm not really on this thing. Let me go have another shot at trying to find it. All right, let's look at that. Maybe it's hard to see. I have to use the sort of the small black and white image of the guide cam in order to see if I've got something in the area. Let's see, are we getting some exposure here. Come on. Well, that's an image. That doesn't look like what I expected. That's the full frame. You know, it's so strange. Last night, pointing was terrific. Nailed everything. Then I changed the way I was doing pointing in order to accommodate better guiding so the images would stack better. And now I can't find crap. All right, that's another image in. I think that maybe I still don't have it in there. This is fairly bright. You should see it. I'm going to make 10-second exposures now. Oop, 30. Well, 30 will certainly do it. Anyways, yeah, so I'm pretty proud of that image. That's about 2 hours and 2 different filters. Oh, let's see what I have to do here. Put that in there and turn that off. And we're back to our regular view. Switch that over for you there. Hey Dave, good to see you. Well, I'm just trying to fill in some of the gaps of the things that didn't work last night, and of course those things are working great, and all of the things that were working great last night aren't working so great tonight. So just trying to deal with all of that. Pointing is an issue tonight. I should maybe I'll try and do something off the hand controller instead of the computer software. Let me try that. I'll be right back. You all talk amongst yourselves. Okay, that has a reasonable possibility of being in there. Like I say, it's very tough to see. Well, make sure you skip over the boring parts, because there's plenty of those. Boy, I was really hoping that this whole scenario would be a little bit more bulletproof than it is, but I'm having camera issues. It's not getting the images down reliably. Let's try disconnecting and reconnecting to the camera, because I just need confirmation that it's in the field of view, you know. All right, full field of view. We're going to shoot 10-second images until we know that we're at it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, today I spent time going through, sitting down, making notes about everything that worked and didn't work last night. You know, this kind of thing was weird, and why didn't that work? And so I spent time with the streaming software, understanding why, you know, audio inputs and outputs would come and go, and I eventually figured that out. And I want to be able to show photos on here that I've taken, but it was very bizarre about how you get to call them up and get them to play, and you should have been able to scroll through them with using the arrow keys, but it didn't work, and all this other kind of stuff. How about an image? Come on, give me an image. Just one image. Data failed. Damn it. A slightly higher gain. It's weird. You'd think if it can find the camera at the end of the USB cable, it wouldn't have a problem. Another failed exposure. What's a mother to do? Well, let's look at some other photos that I've taken recently. Took a bunch of galaxy photos. Let me get one of those up for you. Oh, here's one. This was a surprise. I had never really looked at this thing visually before, and I've been watching a guy on YouTube who has this. It's really kind of bizarre and counterintuitive method of processing images. It's a lot like the way they do the Hubble images, and so I don't have exactly that guy's same equipment, but some of the methods that he could use, I could use in my one-shot color environment. So here is the Cat's Paw Nebula in false color. This is just right down in the tail of Scorpio. I still don't seem to be getting an image here. Yeah, I love that, the way that came out. All the little dark details in those, you know, places where the cat's paw is. Really good detail in the nebula. That was a big surprise, the way that one came out the way it did, because I had no preconceived notions. And another failed image. What does it take? Yeah, we're pretty far off it. All right, I'm going to quit ASI Live while you're looking at that. That's the camera capturing software. We're going to see if we can beat it into submission. How many hours of data capture? I'm going to think that this wasn't all that much. It's maybe an hour and a quarter each of both regular light and hydrogen alpha. And then I played some games with the color channels. That's pretty far off. All right, ASI Studio. Let's try this again. Connect to the camera. Last known exposure. Take a picture, will you? You know, I took that picture with the long focal length telescope, which is a lot harder to control on the mount than you might think. And so the attrition rate, you might take 120 30-second photos, and when you throw away the ones that have streaky stars or some other defect or a satellite going through, thank you Elon, when you take all those, you may take 100, but you're only keeping like 65 or 70. So I may have shot an hour and a quarter, but only ended up with 45 or 50 minutes usable data in 2 different layers. So, another exposure failure. All I want to do is find out if I'm pointed at the thing. Frustrating. What's a mother to do? Well, let's look at another image. Here's one. Took this, this is up near Orion. This is the California Nebula. Took this with the 11-inch Rasa back in December. Or maybe it was January. Yes, the Richie Chrétien. Boy, I haven't gotten a single photo down here yet. Well, this just might end up being photo display. But yeah, you can kind of see why it looks like the California Nebula. You got, you know, it's got the bend in the right place, and San Andreas Fault. There's Lake Tahoe. Yeah, I had much better luck with the RC, the 2,000 millimeter scope this past winter, because I was very, very careful about aligning and all that stuff. And even still, I would have, I'd only be able to keep 65 or 70% of the images that I shot, whereas with the shorter focal length scopes, it's more like 90 or 93% I can keep. Not nearly as many. And it's not the heaviest scope that I have either. Alright, let's try to expose different exposure. Turn on the cooling and the anti-dew. This was working before, it's not working now. Oh, did you see the Galaxy Compendium, like the mosaic of all the galaxies I shot during the whole stay the hell at home period? Yeah, I just started adding up in my mind how much time that all took, and we're going to get an image. Oh, and how about that? Right in the freaking center. Okay, great. Unbelievable. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go realign the map. Hold on. Yeah, I think that would work. Oh, we lost our image. All right, getting rid of this photo. hopefully the pointing will be better. Oh, and I'm going to guide. I can guide. I'm here at home, so I had to do a real quick, rough drift alignment thing. I just did one axis most of the way. Come on, baby. Oh, that's good. And we're stacking. Alright, harmonic histogram. Aligning. All of a sudden, things are working. Let's try and get this bigger on the screen. Come on, we can do better than that. All right, that's a stack of 2. We'll play amateur image processor while you wait. Let's try and go for, now that things are working. Okay. Yeah, I always have to remember to hit that transition thing. It's hard when you have to be the operator and the director at the same time. I made that mistake last night a couple of times too. Okay. All right, we're going to go for some longer exposure. I'm going to stop that stack at my own risk. I'm going to go for 30-second exposures. So like a lot of these nebula, it's a star cluster. Nearby there's a nice open star cluster. You can start to see the open star cluster here, and then the nebulosity here, and there's the eagle in the center. Four, 3, 2, 1. Do we get to use it? Start the stack. Let's see what 30-second exposures will do for us. How's the music level? I'm not talking all that loud, but it shouldn't be interfering. Okay, this should be better. Stack finished. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, just the histogram here. More contrast. Darker sky. Yeah, here it comes. Boy, without that nebular filter, you wouldn't be seeing much of this because the moon is just, you know, hand width away from this thing. All right. It takes a long time for you to see the results of your adjustments. Oh, saturation all the way at the bottom. Let's take that out. If we can't make it big, we'll just make it red. That's not bad. I assume that after a while I'm going to find common settings for all this stuff. A little more contrast. Brighter. That's getting there. Let's zoom in. Oh, thanks, Dave. Yeah, imagine that. Oh, failed exposure again. Yeah, you can see the eagle in there, right? There's the fish. There's the body of the eagle and his wing. Oh, I got noise reduction I can turn on too. Well, the guiding is keeping the stars pinpoint. That's good. So right now what we're seeing is a minute and 15 seconds worth of combined exposure. Another failed image data message. So what do I got? Wacky cables or something? Another failed image. Okay, let's try this again. It says exposure time 0 left, like it just finished taking one. Okay. All right, here's a good image. Aligning. Still trying to align it. It's taking a new one at the same time. Come on. This is the first program of this type that I've ever used. It does live stacking. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, they use that image. So it has to go through and mark the positions of the stars and, you know, line them up, adjust them because your mount might be drifting. That's crazy. Let's try auto again. Yeah, one more contrast. We'll get in there a little farther. Yeah, because on the Hubble Pillars of Creation is this bit in here with the eagle. It's upside down right now compared to the way you see it in the Hubble photos. So if you were to rotate this 140 degrees counterclockwise, there you go. That's looking pretty good. Let's really get in there. Okay, 200%. That's too much. But yeah, you can really see it there. You know, this is the larger weak pillar that you see, and then the really well-defined central one and the little one next to it. Yeah, that looks okay. Boy, if I could really use all of the images that I take. I've taken 21 30-second images and was able to use 7. So let's see what happens. Here comes another one, I think. When it gives me that current image full width half maximum value, that means, hey, we got something. And then it takes a while to align it and add it to the stack. I mean, but that's just like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's pretty well defined for that. Boy, if I could figure out some way to get rid of that banding. Well, I guess you can't have everything. Where would you put it? A little more saturation, perhaps. Contrast. A little blacker. What do we got here? Added a couple. That's not looking too bad. Alright, what time is it going to be? Well, I should think about wrapping this up. Let's do one more. The Omega Nebula is a good choice. It's even brighter than this thing. They also call it the Checkmark Nebula. Why don't we go have a look at that? This is in that same part of Sagittarius where all this good stuff is. You know, as I zoom out, you can see that's like the full frame of the camera there. You can see exactly how expansive this object is. All right, let's go get up the map, and I'll show you where the... So, just for the some context, here is the teapot in Sagittarius, right here. Moon hanging out here, right by the handle. Center of our galaxy is right about there, just off the spout of the teapot, roughly. And then, so we are up here at the Eagle Nebula. Boy, look how far off we are. All right. And this is the lagoon down here, right in that area. And midway between them, well, not midway, but right here, not too far away from the Eagle, is the Omega Nebula. All right, well, let's see if I can find that. We'll look at this same kind of offset. All right, here we go. Yeah, I can just see what this is going to be like when I set this up in the park. A table, 3 computers and an iPad on it. Telescope, cameras. I think I'm doing some kind of bizarre vigilante surveillance operation or something. Well, I guess that's not too far away from the truth. Except for the vigilante part. Okay, how about an image? Do we get an image? Stop stacking. Go to a single image. Clear the previous image. And let's see what happens. I think I have an astro photo of this as well. Let me see if I can find that while we're waiting. Add an image. Omega. Nebula. And pick it from the list. Yeah, here we go. This is not terrible. Just resizing it for your viewing pleasure. There, that's not bad. And here we go. This is what we're going to try and see. I took this last summer, and there was a fair number of things that I've learned since then, but this was a pretty good image from a dark location. I was in the mountains of Tennessee when I took that. We've got failed exposures to this. It has something to do with me coming and going out the door. Maybe. Does something crazy to the cable. There's enough room under there, though. Alright, let's reconnect the camera. Taking a 30-second exposure, 10 seconds left. Yeah, but this is really bright in the eyepiece. I mean, if you look, you know, that central bar and then the part that goes up to the right, that's the check mark part of it. And then if you include the rest of it, it's the Omega Nebula. Because I think it looks, if you look at it, it's kind of like an omega turned over on its side this way. But mostly it looks like a check mark. That central bar and that area that goes up to the right is pretty well defined in the eyepiece, especially if you have a nebular filter for the eyepiece. I mean, it's brighter than almost any other cloudy nebula you're going to look at. Some of them are pretty easy to see, but okay, what's going on here in histogram land? Let's start stacking. Also known as M17. There's so many M objects in this particular area of the sky. M8 is the Lagoon, M20 is the Trifid Nebula. You can get those in the same frame if you've got a wide enough field of view. M22, the star cluster. There's a whole bunch of small little globular clusters down in the bowl of Sagittarius. Star clusters M6 and M7. M7 is Ptolemy's cluster. Oh, exposure failure again. It must have something to do with me coming and going with the door. I mean, it's finding the camera at the end of the cable. I don't understand why you can't get a signal. Yeah, if this is going to work, I need to be able to get from image to image in the sky quickly and get an exposure without all of this hoo-ha and waiting for problems to finish. So I was hoping that tonight would be better than last night. And it is in a couple of ways, but it's worse than last night in a lot of ways. Maybe I should be looking for better auto-stacking software. Alright. I'll show you another photo while this thing tries to right itself. Let's try this again. What do I have here that would be good? You know, if there's an upside to this whole COVID thing and having to stay at home, it would be that I took as many astro photos in 2.5 months as I normally would take in a year. You're welcome, Dave. What's this going to be? Well, I'm looking forward to fall. When we can see the Andromeda Galaxy again. I suppose if you stayed up super late, technically it's starting to come up 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Let me get this one. This is one of those rite of passage thing. At some point, if you're going to do astrophotography, you have to shoot the Andromeda Galaxy. Just no getting around it. Ooh, that's super big. And I've tried it a couple of times. I've tried it with a camera, my first camera, and it turns out that that particular setup that I had would only see about a third of it. So I got a pretty good little shot of the nucleus, but this thing is, oh wow, I finally got an image. The Andromeda Galaxy is the size of 8 full moons. So you need a setup that really sees some sky. Well, here, I'll show you this picture real quick, and then I'll do some work on, there, that's the Andromeda Galaxy. I was doing some fact-checking on myself, and I got onto Wikipedia, and I don't know if their information is right or not, but I've heard such a huge variance in the estimates of the number of stars in Andromeda. Okay, here we go. Here's our live version of the Omega Nebula, which is actually looking pretty good, I gotta say. Let's zoom in a little. Of course, there's always the random element of how your camera is screwed onto the telescope. All right, let's get a little bit more dark going on here. That's not bad. That's just 1 32nd exposure. Let's see if we're getting another one here. Nope, another failed exposure. Oh. So it must have something to do with the door. Okay, Frank. Yeah, I'll be on the island at some point. I'll probably have some work to do at my studio. Got your phone number, and you got mine, obviously. So, you know, maybe we can hang out and talk sky stuff or something. Get a beer. I should get to bed too, because I got a church gig in the morning. So maybe we'll just call this it. So thanks for watching, everybody. And Bill the Sky Guy signing off. Oh wait, I gotta play my theme music. I've got theme music. All right, let me get this together. Here we go. Set it up, and here we go out with some Caribbean. wrote that on the plane coming back from Japan in 2007. It's a good little music bump. And that's enough. Fade it out. Thanks, everybody. Let's get up the right stream banner, and that's not it. Is there another one? Okay, well, still, I got to get more fluid with this stuff. All right, take care, everybody.